Oh, everyone's fighting for something. Sometimes we're fighting among ourselves. Today, we want to talk about how many things you can fight about before you start fighting with your mom.
Okay.
No, for real. It's going to be a good podcast. Also, episode 150. Let go! Hey!
Wow, the audience just came in very early. It's like they knew.
They knew.
Like they knew. Oh,
Ladies and
everyone.
gentlemen, welcome back to the Table Talk
Already.
Podcast. It's your boys, the Mings.
And today, we gotta get. I think he need more audience.
We need more audience.
More audience with audience. There we go. You best be watching YouTube right now.
You're missing out already if you're not on YouTube.
On that sun silky hair.
Do you just... Oh, look at that.
Today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the one and only...
Woo!
Arwind with us!
Hello.
One more time.
Wow.
Three audience applause is a lot of audience applause.
It's the most we have ever done.
It's the most we've ever done.
In like 1 minute.
Yeah.
In 1 minute.
Only for the best.
Only for the best.
For everyone, just putting the baseline there. We always do the who you, what you do.
Yes.
Hello. Let's go.
Yes.
Who you, what you do.
Who you, what do?
Me is the Arwind Kumar.
Yes.
Me do the content creating. Me like to make the videos. Me got the alter ego called the Machi Rosma.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm more of the introvert
Yeah.
and Machi is more of the extrovert.
It's like Batman and Bruce.
Like I'm the very empathetic one.
Yes.
She's more like I will burn you to ashes kind of person.
Oh my goodness.
More like Alfred and Batman at some point.
Yes.
Not Bruce though. But yeah.
We've got a really interesting episode today. For the 150th episode, we
150?
thought... I can't believe we're here.
150?
I can't believe we're
I think
here.
when we hit 365.
Let me do some math.
Sorry, what?
Hold
we
on.
hit 365. That'd
One-
be whack.
It's a lot.
50 divided by 7 divided by...
I thought Chinese supposed to be good at maths.
I'm not Chinese. Yes. We've been 5 months of podcasts. 5 months.
Sorry, what? That's like...
I
That puts
did
it
it
about
wrong.
2 years if it's every week.
Wow.
We skipped like 1 or 2 lah.
Yeah, but it's still 2 years.
It's
plus.
still 2 years.
Almost 3, sorry.
Oh, that's
Come on, one more
Okay,
time.
okay,
One more time.
okay,
Sorry.
okay,
That's a lot. That's
okay.
a lot. Okay, but the reason why we have Arwind here today with us, just like the intro, I think there's a lot of conversations on the
So many.
interwebs about everything. There's so many causes to fight for.
Malaysians are professional at any given topic at any given time.
Oh yes.
Right?
We love.
Yes.
We think we're the authority and everything.
Why? I need to understand why. Can you please tell me why?
Why? What?
Why are we suddenly like if there is a court case, we're all lawyers.
Hey, yeah.
If there is
Johnny Depp ever heard? I'm a legislated lawyer.
You know, I think it's the generation. Like
Really?
I got this like hate-love relationship with the now generation.
The
Like
Gen
I-
Zs. is
Like
it?
like Gen Zs, like I love them because they are so vocal. Like once they start, that's it, you know. But the other 50%, like that I don't understand is sometimes they don't study enough to understand what goes behind.
They want to be relevant there.
They jump on the boat a lot.
There, yeah.
You know,
But the life jacket, ambil.
yeah, but the life jacket tambe. So they just like follow anything and anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the good thing is like they influence more people to like talk about it.
It's all about noise nowadays, right?
Yeah,
Less about substance.
Yes.
Okay.
Right? They
Yes.
jump on the boat, then
Which
they
is
ask,
quite
why is
scary.
the boat going here? How dare you take away my rights?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? That's basically...
Sorry, excuse me. I don't know how to swim.
Okay.
Yeah.
One big thing that has really stood out from all of your content that you made these days, I think is the very big shift into talking about things that matter.
Yeah.
And it's so important. Like I really agree with it. Like a personal dilemma these days is there's so much content online. I really want to make your 30 seconds to 1 minute worth it. So one thing that really stands out from all that you do is the makcik. Can you just give her a little intro before we dive into everything
Who
else?
is and okay? How did Makcik Rosma find you?
Yes.
Oh my god.
How did she find you? Or did you find her?
Is it what is it? Is it like the Moon Knight? Like she chose you as the avatar? kind of thing,
I
like-
think so. like I honestly didn't know how it happened. Like I don't even know how the name came about.
yeah.
But all I knew was like after I finished Form 5, right, I had nothing to do. Like I was not like the best in school, you know what I mean? So I was like, what's my future gonna be like? Now I was like, while waiting to like find out what my future is gonna be like, I was like, you know what? Let's do like comedy. Like I wanna make people laugh. I've always had this thing where I enjoy making people laugh.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it was like ever since I was a kid. So it was in me for a very long time. But I was like, you know what? Sometimes I do as me, people get annoyed. So I was like, you know, I want to be a clown because I see clown like people like, I mean, now when you grow up, you realize like clowns are scary.
Yes.
But then when you're small, you're like, balloons and all of that, right? So I was like, okay, let's just put on an afro. So that's how it all started. Like just with an afro, no wig, no cross-dressing, nothing. So I just put on an afro and then I started like talking with a different slang and accent out of that. And then I was like, someone commented saying, hey, you look like the ancient Malay aunties. You know the last time Malay aunties all got afro hair all like that.
Yeah. They
So I
got
was like,
big.
Yeah. Yeah. The Stone Age, that one. So I was like, oh, good idea. You know, I was like, okay, let's just put a shawl on. Last time they don't like shawl like that one.
Correct.
Last time they are like that one.
You can see a bit of the hair.
It's like a suggestion, not a rule.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, it's really good.
So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just put a green shawl. Then the green became like a very
Iconic already.
Yeah, very iconic. You know.
Like the Macau hijau iconic.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Then it all started from there. And at first, you know, MCR was, oh my god, if you know the real MCR, you would like know how brutal she used to be.
MCR.
We're not talking about My Chemical Romance. No.
a young boy. Sorry, I'm done.
Everyone thinks it's My Chemical Romance. Sorry, MCR is now Machiro Smart.
It is truly.
Yes.
So like she used to be like so brutal, like you know the King Coco videos.
Oh yeah, oh my god, I love that so much.
Yeah, King Coco videos. There's just a lot of like iconic, legendary videos.
And you would bring up Machik Rosma as a means to discuss, or maybe not discuss, like comment on
anything,
on current
especially
happenings.
the important things.
Yeah.
There was one time I remember, right? I just pray that today she's not crying. You know what this era is? Every day she just watch the numbers go up and she cry. And then she cried again. And I'm like, maybe today she smiled. No. That was the era because we were recording podcasts, right? COVID cases. Sorry. That was like zero context. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, like what
I was speaking Gen Z language. No context is nice one. So sorry. Every day is coming back to my head. So every day I wake up, maybe today she don't cry. And sometimes I play a game. I don't read the Malaysia Kini first. I will check for the video first. And then if I see the face, I'm like, oh, yep.
You know it.
It's up.
I have to say, like, there were a couple of some stellar content creators during the MCO period. I want to include myself in that list. I think I was coming on some hot ass fires. Right?
I like
By the window, looking out the window.
It's whack. No, like
it's real. The neighbor come out.
Yeah, the neighbors.
real.
He's shouting at the neighbors.
I'm shouting at people. The birds, the neighbors, everybody. But Arwind took a very interesting approach to announcing the numbers. I would have just like, hello, what are you all doing? Stay home, bitch, kind of thing. But Arwind's not. He's just emotional. And then shouting like, why?
It's so real.
Wow, it's so good.
You get nominated. The online award.
I wasn't invited to the YouTube Awards show, you know. They didn't invite me.
Neither did we. We
Why?
also don't go.
The people who go actually suffers. Anyway, back to some of the
All right, let's
the
talk
reasons
about it.
why Machi
Yes,
Rosma
yes.
is out and about, right?
Yes.
Certain things call for a discussion. And I like
Yes.
what you did. Recently, there were a couple of videos that you put on Instagram that people asked you, hey, Arwind, can you make and discuss something? And you said in the story, guys, I'm not going to make this yet because I haven't had the time to read up on this, to do my research, right? And like Minghan was saying earlier on, that's something that's so important because if you fly into a conversation, you just start shouting with no substance.
I love it.
Actually, kau buat apa bodoh? You know?
Comedy. That's called comedy.
Wait, yeah, that one is comedy.
No. I take it back. Certain comedians I want some
They
of
do
the
research also.
the most well-informed
Yeah.
people in the world.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
How did you transition from a content creator? Because content creators, they just want to make something, put it up, and then they're done with it, right? There's not a lot of background.
What was
work
the
that goes
kick
to it.
into making content that had that?
Like,
had
why
speech?
did you feel, oh, maybe I should put a bit of research into this instead of just like, okay, I just upload.
I
Whatever
think,
happens,
you
happens.
know, just like anyone on earth, right? Like we all make mistakes. So like I said, the initial MCR was someone who was so like brutal. Like she was not empathetic at all. Like she wouldn't even
go for
bother.
it.
Like if you watch the video and like you hang yourself, like she wouldn't even like have any sort of feeling. She was just like so sharp, you know. And then I grew into understanding like, you know, I don't think I want to be that person. Like, yes, I want to roast people, but I also want to make sure that at the end of the entire video, there's education. That means
lesson.
people learn something from the video.
Yes.
Then it transitioned. I started changing my style. That means I maintained the roast, but I made sure that it made everyone feel good at the end of the day. Like everyone has to like, they
away
have to.
something.
There must be something to take away.
Hey!
Take
I'm
away.
sorry. Okay, yes.
I thought applause going to come.
Hey,
sorry.
applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I mean that's how it slowly transitioned, you know. Then then I started like realizing like, oh my god, I need a balance between like Arwind and MCR, because it started getting to a point where I
She took
started
over your
losing my
life.
identity.
And you just became her.
Yes.
You
like,
woke up in the morning as her.
like no lah, I'm still me. But whenever I go out, right, like people don't know my name.
Hey,
Like,
Machi Rosma!
Hey Machi, hi Machi, and
You're just like, yo, guys, what the heck?
it's a nice feeling, but like
Also,
they don't know your real name, you know. So I'm like, oh my god, like this feels it's nice because they watch
Right.
my videos, but at the same time,
But
I feel like
also-
I'm starting to lose myself because she's taking over a little too much.
Yes.
are you
That's
wearing
how
the
they do
afro?
it.
Is the afro wearing you
Yo,
at some point? Right?
yes.
Yes. It just
Shit,
like
shit.
swallows you
That's
up.
crazy. That's crazy. This sounds
It's
like...
true. It's true though. But people relate to roast ma.
Yeah.
Because more than looking at it as a character, right? She represents more of a very motherly figure.
Yes.
So it's like whenever she says something, right? People really listen. I can say something and she can say something. People pay more attention to her because she embodies that motherly energy.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's
very,
that Asian mom.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
The teacher that scolds you.
Correct.
It's that vibe. That's why people like, they'll snap and they're like, hey, wow, she's right. You know? I think the question here, which is funny because you were talking about the duality of like, you know, the extrovert and the introvert, right? You, aside from being a content creator, you are a bit of a, I don't know if the word is a bit or actually you are a very, very extra social activist.
Social activist.
I try my best.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more?
Wait, can we define what social
Okay,
activist
yeah, you know what?
is?
Let's talk about what you do
Yes,
first.
please.
Yes.
Yes, let's get there.
Share with us what Soul Fuel is. What do you do on the daily? What is this new?
What mean
side of
actually?
you?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
mean social activist to you?
I mean?
You know, I always try to like break down all these terms and
Yeah, yeah.
concepts because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
a
yeah.
very simple person, you know. So like when we were all like kids, right? We used to engage in a lot of I don't even want to call it charity. Like we used to engage in a lot of kindness.
Yeah,
So what we would do is we would like cook for homes.
Mm.
We would make like smile cards, like have our own small posters, and then go to the hospitals. Patients on their beds, like we would just give them smile cards
Mm.
and looking at them read the smile cards and then smiling, like you just have that sort of feeling,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
just know like this is what you want to do. Like you want to make an
So even at
impact.
a young age, you were doing this.
Yes,
Yeah.
Was it through
it's
through
been
like
such
your
a long
family thing? Is it a family thing or like
It's a you thing.
How did you get started?
It's my mom thing.
Oh, shout out to
It's
mom.
my mom thing. So
Right.
like we've been doing a lot of this, like, you know, since like years back already. So it kind of became like a part of me, and it's not like a part of me because I've been doing it. You know, you reach a certain age, then you start realizing like, oh my god, this is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah.
Like this is my path.
I like that.
You know, and I chose this path. Oh no, sorry, the path chose me.
Just like Machi
because
Rosma
like
chose
I
you.
didn't
Yes.
know back then why I started doing it, but eventually you realize that, oh my god, you didn't choose it. You know, it wanted
Yeah,
you
yeah.
to
be there.
pursue this.
Yeah, yeah.
So then I grew up like doing more of it, and then I started being more independent with it. That means in terms of not big things. You know, when people say social activists, they assume like, oh my god, giving people like
Like Greta Thunberg.
yeah, like
Fighting
providing
for the pandas.
1,000 families with
Yeah, yeah.
food.
Climate change.
Like
Yes.
going to countries and like distributing provisions. No, you start by changing people's lives with the smallest acts of kindness.
Smiley
Yeah,
cards with small
Yeah,
smiley
smile card.
cards.
Like for example, you go to someone, you know, these days, right? People ask you, "How are you?" It becomes very, very.
Small talk.
It's like a no. I mean,
Redundant.
if that the you know, like when you format in the brain, the first
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
when I
yeah.
see
Hey,
someone,
hi,
like,
how are you?
"Hi, how are you?" Right?
Right.
Rather than really wanting to know like
No,
how
it's
a
like the
person
yeah.
is.
it's like
not
the American
intentional lah.
greeting.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
American greeting.
Yes.
Like when I went to New York for the first time, I was like, people asking, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good. No, had a great day." They were like, "Why? Why are you telling me this?"
Yes.
I'm like, "You asked me how I am." Apparently, you're just gonna go, "How are you? How are you?"
It's like
Yes.
our
And
dah
you leave it.
makan. Yeah, I don't care whether you makan ke
Yes,
tak. I just say dah
yes,
makan ke tak.
yes, correct. So the whole intention of being involved in this is to break down whatever that we've been so customized to. That means like saying all this, "How are you?" Like, "Have you eaten?"
Surface level
and all
care
this.
lah.
And actually like
Actually
focus on
care.
being empathetic. Like
Right.
you
Yeah,
really have to care when you talk to someone.
Yeah.
Don't make it into just, you know, like
Intentional stuff.
intentional.
Very
The
intentional.
intention matters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my belief of social being a social activist is just creating change in whichever way possible, even if that means to ask someone, how are you, with the right intention of really wanting to help.
Like listen.
You don't
Or
have
lift
to,
them up.
You don't have to wear the bandana and take the flag and go into the Jalan Kota Raya,
Yeah,
all
you
right?
you
but that's the normal image of
that one is
social
what-
activists.
yes.
Really,
That's
like
hardcore.
there are movements like that.
Yeah.
You know, there are times we need to be that. But
And then is that how you decided, you know what, I'm going to start and kick off
Yeah, do
my own
something like that.
official, what would you call it?
It's a
Movement?
mental health sanctuary.
Yeah.
So,
So tell us about that, yeah.
Yes, like I said, we've been doing this for like such a long time, and then you start wondering, like, I need my own space. I've always wanted a space where, if people don't have rice, people don't have oil, people are like in need, right?
like a food kitchen-ish thing.
Like a food kitchen thing, but
But
this is
for
like a
the mind.
drive-through. So you
Drive-thru.
come through the window and just
and
let,
then they baling rice.
and just let me know what you need, rice or sugar, salt, and I'm like, hey baby girl,
Yeah,
hey
this
baby
you,
boy,
this you,
wow.
yeah, I
Wow.
want to have it like in a very fun concept, not like very like serious like that. I want people to feel like you shouldn't feel ashamed
Wow.
to ask for help.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel embarrassed
Nice,
to
nice.
seek,
Right.
So that was how the mental health sanctuary came inside, and also because, oh my god, therapy is expensive.
Oh,
super expensive,
Yeah.
and not everyone can afford therapy.
yeah. Yeah, it's not cheap.
So I was like, and if you don't go for therapy, you eventually
Get worse.
you drown because you don't know how to deal with things.
Yeah.
You need guidance. You
true.
need light. If you're in the midst of like
You
very
can't
huge-
break the circle on your own sometimes.
Yes,
right?
you
the
need
help.
you need help. You need
Yeah,
help.
right.
But sometimes I mean,
Malu also does.
if we could actually give help for free, that means when I say we, that means friends, families, colleagues.
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
can actually realize or recognize someone's going through something, and on the spot we try to assist, I think we wouldn't need therapy. But we have reached to a point where everyone is living such a robotic life.
Yeah.
Like when someone's going through something, they are already so good at putting up a mask.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't even know, like, both of you sitting here now might be experiencing something and might be like going through something in your head.
But
in
we
your
won't,
heart.
we won't show.
You won't show is one thing. But if your friends or families are not connected enough with you, they will not be able to recognize it as well. So sometimes putting on a mask may not help because
Right,
there
right.
are empaths who can really
I feel you might be
Yes.
upset.
like who can really feel,
The
who
thing,
can really
yeah,
just know
yeah.
by facial expressions, your body language and all of that.
right.
But I think if that's the thing, when we stop paying attention to the people around us, when we stop like really having the intention to help, I think what's unfortunate is we wait for something to happen, then we talk about how to help people.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
We wait for something huge, something really sad.
We wait for the repair instead of the remedy. At the start,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. We always wait for pain to
The
happen
consequence.
before we
Ah.
actually before we
Kena
actually give
langgar,
power.
then you go and fix. Yeah.
So I think that's the issue. And the thing is, even when we start something, right? If your intention is there, don't stop. A lot of people like, let's say if something happens today, let's say we spoke about I spoke about the Bella, the child who got abused one.
Yeah.
Right? You see social media going on a rampage, which is
Yeah.
a good thing.
Right.
People need to be consistent with this.
Awareness for
They
sure.
cannot just speak up when an issue happens
And-
because fortunately that issue came to surface. What about those that are
Still
behind
underground,
back
yeah.
doors? Like,
yeah.
what do? You still have to continue
Yep.
talking about it in your circle, among your friends, families, rather than gossiping about people. I think people need to spend more time helping to bring light into
The issues.
this
But
very
that's-
dark society.
But I think that's a great way to approach it because that's the majority of the chatter online, right? It's just like, oh, everyone's talking about it now. Let me talk about it now because this will bring me some, togetherness. I feel like I'm doing my part. And some people also call out like, hey, why aren't you talking out about it? I mean, if our peers, especially in the circle where you are tagged influencer, right? People will ask, why are you not talking about this? And they're like, isn't it your responsibility to talk about things like this? But I think in light of all that, we're talking about passive action, just being there. How do you shift that to being active? It's like what you talk about, right? Like I think the follow up.
Yeah.
What's your best? I think personally, shifting from a passive. Let me talk about it. What's the best way to become the change instead of talking about the change? Because a lot of people feel like I'm doing my part by spreading awareness, which is great. Awareness is very necessary. I think without awareness, I think these past 10 years with the blowing up of social media, a lot of matters have come to light, which otherwise would have never come to light, just solely based on noise and awareness. But what's that step, right? How did you, now since you told us your childhood story already from there, what's a good way that I think people can shift from a passive social activist to an active and actual one?
I think like, I don't know, like there's been a lot of things that you've been doing even in this past year that to me is like, wow, this one is really like, it's not talk lah. It's really like going out
What's
there,
a step?
doing
What's the
something,
steps?
right?
Yeah, the steps. Easy ones are break it down for people.
You know, when you
Simple
love
ones.
something, right? You have that fire in you, and it's so hard to dim that fire because you love it so much. You know, it can be a person, it can be your job, it can be a hobby or whatever.
For sure.
But if you love something, it's impossible to dim that flame.
Yeah.
I think in the same way, people need to understand it's not a content creator's responsibility. It's not a social activist's responsibility. It's a human being's responsibility
yeah.
to
Just
be
care.
empathetic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think people think that you need a job to care for someone, or you need to be a certain level or a certain person to really show extra effort. If you want to, you will. You know, it's just how much of
Right.
understanding you have about how important it is to be that person.
I like how you talked to, you just mentioned this and you talked about like, the simple act of asking how are you. I think that's a great step because it's a beginnings of taking an active step into showing you care. Right? Like you say, if you love something, you go for it. People these days are so scared of committing to a care. Like I would rather say, how are you? I don't have time for anything bigger than small talk. But that's a great step to take because like I think when you turn off at small talk, what are your chances of getting involved with helping out an orphanage, maybe for example? Like these kids aren't going to say, how are you? I'm good. No, they're going to tell you stories and stuff like that. Maybe that's a good way. Like
Let me tell you something. This
Right.
is something I've not like shared in public.
Oh.
But I've only posted about it like very briefly, like a few years ago. So 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I was in a relationship with this person, right?
Oh,
And about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I'm sorry if I got my
it's okay. Only you know this.
the dates wrong.
Yeah.
To us, it's correct.
A lot of people already know because it was publicized already.
Yeah.
5 years ago, we broke up after a year. Okay, it didn't work out, and then like we remained friends, acquaintances. Very random. How are you? In between here and there, and then 4 or 5 years ago, I got a message from one of her friends
And
telling me that she committed suicide.
4 years ago. Oh my.
And I was shocked because let me tell you, she is someone who was extremely bubbly.
Yeah.
She found joy in everything she did in life. It's so hard to say that she was going through something. You cannot even
You can't tell.
you cannot because that layer was so strong. I failed to recognize as well. And when I found out, I broke down. Like it was at night. It was somewhere around 8, 9 when I found out. I switched off all my lights.
Right.
I just went on my bed. I took my pillow. I just covered my face and I just screamed at the top of my lungs
Oh.
because I couldn't believe someone who seemed to be so happy, so
Put together.
like put together with life, with everything, the people around her, was actually going through something that nobody knew about. And I was in shock. I cried for like 4 hours straight. Like I couldn't sleep because I kept thinking,
Like why
I
didn't-
kept assuming myself to be a failer because I didn't do my job as an acquaintance, as a friend, as someone who knew this person. And that guilt, that guilt was so heavy and intense that it took like a few days for me to really just breathe properly, And it was after this entire incident, the intention to have a mental health sanctuary came about.
Wow.
that simple intention of just asking how are you, right?
That intention to have the
Care.
entire space for people to
Just come
if
in.
they ever need shelter.
Right.
So
I'm so sorry to hear
it-
that, by the way. Thanks for sharing. Seriously.
I think people need to know. It's sad because when we see it happen to someone,
Right.
yes, we're concerned, but it's temporary. But when it actually happens to you, when it happens to someone you know, the impact is much more powerful.
Yeah,
Which
for
we
sure.
don't want to happen. We
We
don't
don't
want
need to
someone
get to that point.
We don't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
someone to have to face that among their circle for them to understand how important it is to be kind at every given moment. You
Yeah.
don't need to wait for a kindness week or kindness
Yeah,
month.
I love that.
You don't need to wait for Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, whatever. All this I feel like just rubbish,
Yeah.
If you want to love someone, if you want to show your care, if you want to just treat someone,
Go
do
for
it
it.
whenever you feel like doing it. Like
Yeah.
you don't need to wait for anything.
Don't
That-
wait for the hashtag.
Yeah.
That's why I don't even celebrate birthdays anymore. Like I celebrate life every day.
I love
Oh.
that.
Every day. I don't celebrate birthdays.
Yeah. There was, I think, like for a lot of people, doing good things or doing kind things only happens when it's a chance for them to publicize it. I guess for people, that's what charity is, right? Like charity is you feeling good about you doing good for other people. And then, I don't know if you guys remember, whoever's like listening to this, right? You guys remember the whole white flag movement. There was a lot of stigma about it because people didn't want to seem like they were in need. People were shy. But then there were also people who were taking the opportunity to make it like a CSR drive, right? Like I give you this packet of rice, I shake your hand, I take picture. Like all, our politicians started to come out of their cages, like, hey, come, got photo op, let's go and help this family who needs rice. Take picture, shake hand, and then go and give them stickers, all that.
They feel like you changed their whole life.
Exactly. Like, oh, look at me, I'm the freaking savior, right? And I feel it's stuff like that makes it even more difficult for people to want to ask for help, because then it becomes like, are you like ridiculing my situation? And I think like what you did with your platform and like the whole situation during MCO as well was when people were messaging you, asking you, hey Arwind, I need money to buy milk for my baby, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I remember those.
It was
I remember those.
it was you getting your own funds, putting it out there to show the accountability. People send you money and you also still tracked it and showed it online. And I think it's stuff like that you didn't have to. You, number one, like you literally didn't have to. You were having your own time at home. It's like it's not easy, this MCO, everyone's having a hard time, but you did it. And other people, like maybe for them it's like it's not worth the effort. I'm just gonna keep quiet. I'll post up about it, but I'm not gonna do anything else.
What are your thoughts about that? Like, no picture didn't happen.
No picture didn't happen.
I mean, I honestly think, okay, there's this saying like, kerana nila setitik rosak susu sebelanga, like because of a certain group of people, like the intention of every other people gets stained.
Yeah.
I'm all out for whatever good you do. If you want to post about it, just post about it.
Yeah.
I do that a lot because there's a lot of negativity already on social media. There's a lot of videos about accidents, a lot of videos about abuse, bullies. We need to see some light. We need to see some things that people can also be involved in.
Yeah.
The tagline for the sanctuary, Soulfield Sanctuary, is "It's not me, it's us." So like I may have started the quarantine initiative, but it's really like it's the people who brought everything together.
Yeah,
Like I told them, I said, it's not about how much you give, it's the intention. Even if you want to give 1 ringgit, but if your intention is, I only have this much, but I really want to be involved and help, you've done your part. You don't need 50 ringgit, 100 ringgit, 500 ringgit. No, do what you can with what you have.
Yeah.
That is called social responsibility.
Yeah.
That is called kindness. That is called being a social activist. You are a social activist.
Correct. Yeah.
You don't have to do things on a big scale to have that name with you. Even if you have if you have given a little to society with the right intention and the right mindset, right? You've achieved kindness.
Yeah.
So I mean, post about it, but of course, I'm disgusted by the people who do it for
The likes.
for the fame, for the
Yeah,
likes.
yeah.
It's even more disgusting when you give it to someone and you're like,
Yeah.
like stop.
Like
Cringe.
I've had stories of like, you know, during the whole flood situation, right? Like I've had friends who went to volunteer at food kitchens, at cleaning up shelters and stuff like that, right? And there are people there who are there for the photo op. Like they will come and then they photo op, and then after they take the picture, right? They're like, hey, then the people there, can you help carry this? Oh, sorry, I can't. They just leave. And I'm like, wow, y'all like
These are like normal people.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, to themselves, they are influencers are like. Bro,
Hey,
but like,
shame on you.
but I don't know,
Okay,
like if that was the kind of attitude,
Sampah masyarakat.
if you're going to an environment where people actually generally need help, and you're going there to make yourself look good, and you don't help,
You need help actually.
Yeah,
That's why you're there.
You need help.
then like
So-
just don't go and disturb people.
But it's
lah.
a thing. Right. It's such a horrible line. Like
Yeah.
especially because of social media these
Yeah,
days.
I'm sure it's like 1 in 10 people who do this lah, but still God to know. It's like, what are you doing? Why?
Maybe we need to put out a guidebook online. How to take pictures when you're helping people, you know?
You don't need to. You don't need to. Right?
Because in some way, awareness always brings in more help. The more
Yeah,
people
definitely.
talk about it, more help will happen.
Yeah, but if you are disrupting
Right.
the efforts,
Yeah.
then I
Yeah.
feel maybe don't.
If you're
Yeah.
there for social gain, self gain, selfish gain.
Yeah, then get the F out lah.
I mean, technically, if you got like 5K followers and then you're there for selfish gain, go lah. Then at least people see. At least you've done something for awareness.
Yeah.
You take a pictures. I don't care about you. But then
Photo
you have to deal with yourself after that.
Yeah.
Right. I really don't understand. I thought the politicians were doing it. I didn't realize
No,
like
there were a lot of people.
civilians.
Yeah,
Civilians are
I've
doing
had a
it.
lot of friends who go and help clean up the other areas, and people literally they walk in, right? They are wearing like, you know, they're not there to clean up lah.
Yeah.
They wearing Yeezys lah, got the Gucci handbag all, and then they take picture, then they shout. I'm like, hey, what the bird?
Yeah, I mean, there are people like that, unfortunately.
Wow, my brain. All right, this is new to me because obviously I don't care about people like that.
Okay.
100%. And I still don't. But hey,
I just want to shift the conversation to talking about social like social issues.
Okay.
Like for example, like the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation right now. Everyone's jumping on it because it's popular. It's in a lot of memeable moments. I have to say myself,
But-
I'm enjoying it.
it's such an important discussion that's going on online right now.
Yeah.
Right? Because like what we just talked about, I mean, when we're trying to do something for the people, a lot of people hide behind a good message.
Yeah.
They hide behind a good movement. And a lot of people abuse things like this for selfish gain again, right? I don't know. I feel like whenever there is a group of people trying to do something good, there's always someone trying to do something for themselves there, right? And have you have any experiences with people like this?
People like
Okay.
people who use me.
I mean, in the efforts of trying to do good things, right? Not everyone's gonna be the same page. I would say. I would think, right? No matter how noble your intentions might be, I don't know. I just feel like sorry, this triggers me as well. I can't take it when people go and go for the photo op or go and say pray for this, pray for that. I'm like, pray for what? Then people are like, oh, you got to pray for Ukraine. Then I ask, where's Ukraine? Where? Oh, Ukraine is there. I'm like, I see. So you're praying for where? There. So I don't know. To me, it's a personal trigger. How do you? Because if you're running Soulful, it's a thing that you want to do. How do you deal with people? I mean, personally, this is like a personal question. How do you deal with these people when they come to you? Like, say, hey, Arvind, I heard you're doing this Soulful. Can I come and help out and take a few photos? Now, what are your experiences with people like this in the past? Just out of curiosity.
Oh my god! I mean, as sweet as I look, as charming as I look,
100%.
I am very, very strict with certain policies. That means if you want to come and help, no, don't come and help. I don't want people to come and help me at all. Like if you want to come and be involved because it's a part of you, then yes, come along. But don't come and offer help because you feel like you need to
I need content for next week posting.
Make an appearance.
make an appearance, or you need to give back to society. No, you don't need to give back anything to society. You need to give yourself to society.
Oh.
So like, if I do bump into people like that, oh my god, no, they don't want to like meet the the very ferocious me. Like
That's
that's when MCR comes out.
MCR's more violent twin comes out.
But I think there are a lot of people who are like that, you know, like they come and then you don't see them anymore. It's just that one time.
Oh no, for sure, yeah.
You know, it's just that one time, and then you start feeling like, oh my god, like
Wasted my time though.
have I been used?
Yeah.
Like why such a beautiful place with such genuine intention? Why do people still find the need to?
Go and abuse it.
Come and
Yes.
pollute, come
Yes.
and
And that's when you realize, everybody,
everybody's full of shit.
as beautiful as life is, you cannot run away from nasty people.
Oh,
You
I
Nasty
love
cannot.
people
that.
run to you.
Once you accept this reality, it becomes easier for you to deal with humans like
Oh,
this. You
I
won't
love
get
that.
surprised anymore.
Yeah. The
Nothing
acceptance.
surprises
I like
you.
that. I like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, sorry, I just really reeled out the topic of the you bringing up Amber Heard and that, because in the past, sorry guys, in the past 2 to 3 years, we have had a record amount of bad things happening to the world, and a record amount of people trying to do good, and people trying to appear to do good, and I think what brought me the most dilemma and internal struggle myself is watching people trying to do good to justify something else. You know, be it COVID lah, volunteering for COVID lah. I try to anchor myself on the fact that, okay, you know what? They might be there for selfish gain, but there's at least 2 more pairs of hands helping for these 24 hours, for those 12 hours. But it doesn't, I don't know, it never sits right. And I wouldn't know how to deal with it. Because I'll just go like, you know, like you, like I would say, just cut the bullshit, bye-bye, I'm done. But at the same time, I'm also like, yeah lah, at least there's another account talking about it. At least there's another 2 hands. So if not, if it's 80% rotten, maybe 5% is doing some good, right?
I think it's on us lah. It's the perspective that we have about it as well, right? Like we choose to see the good things, though. If we choose to also hate on them,
That's why it's very important, right, in life, right? Always evaluate your relationships. If you don't have friends who will tell you off whenever you're doing something
Stupid.
out of track,
You're in an echo chamber at some point.
you know you're not among the right people in life, you know. My friends are, I mean,
Just
you know,
wake up in
I
violence.
say a lot of things, I
Right.
do a lot of things, but
Right.
that does not mean I'm right all the time.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I have friends and family members who correct me whenever they feel the need to. They don't just stay silent because I'm famous. They don't stay silent because I'm a loud person. You know, they say it when they need to. I feel like a lot of relationships these days, right? Friends, acquaintances, family members, colleagues, whatever. When you realize something toxic, you choose not to be involved because you don't want there to be any beef.
I reject the negative vibes.
Yeah,
wow.
so you're like, you know what? I'm
I
just
do
not
not
going to be a
claim
part
Dog
of
shit,
it.
man.
Yeah,
But
it's
the
for
more
sure.
you stay silent, the more you're enabling it to happen.
Yeah.
Like, you know, silence is not golden, you know, for many people who think so.
Who is the one who said that? For evil to prevail, good men need to do nothing.
Ay.
It was a very big quote. Sorry, what happened?
I don't know.
Everyone's looking at something
Someone
that fell
fell
down.
down. Someone fell down.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, I guess that whole thing about everything you said about just having intention, if it's calling out something, if it's helping something, I think what has really helped me personally to experience what to do good is maybe the most recent is having a kid myself. And then when I see single moms or single dads, I have that innate need, like I know what you're going through. Can I help you do something? I think that's really true. Don't help the cause, help the person first. And when you can feel that inside you, that is the real first step. It's not about, hey, let me read up on this online, let me attend a community, get together, gotong royong. That's a great activity. People always need manpower. But social activist is less about wearing the bandana and holding the flag at Merdeka Square. And it's more about just asking the kaka or the pakcik outside, hey, you need some food today or not? For people who live in apartments, some of the best things I've seen is those who go to all the security guards, order Grab for lunch.
Oh.
Wow, it's such a great thing lah. But don't be the guy that order Grab then cannot finish food, then you give, hey, this is my leftovers. They are also humans lah. I mean, you don't, that's all you need to be. Just you need to be
You know,
human.
if you see, like, let's say, for example, the DBKL people, right, who come and angkat sampah all the time.
Yes.
And if it's like scorching, you know, the weather is just like blazing. If you feel something, and if you feel one kind, if you're feeling like, oh my God, if you feel bad, you have it in you.
Yeah.
You
That's a
have
step.
it in you.
You feel bad about it.
Yes.
That's what you should do.
But if you look at them like nothing, like, okay, this is their job.
This-
It's hot. Oh my God.
That's the trigger word. This is their job. They're supposed to be
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
Right?
Then
Justifying.
you're
Yeah.
already blocking that thing to happen already. You know, if you don't feel it, if you don't feel for
Wow.
people, then
it. Yeah.
it's tough. But we all have it in us. It's just that it's sad. We've been grown up
Do not care.
Yeah.
to not care. You know, like stop, don't cry,
Yeah.
or like don't get too close to that person,
Yeah.
or don't put your nose into other people's business.
Yeah.
No, you have to. If you want to be like really, really concerned for people, put your nose in their business, but don't be attached.
We're
Don't be
not taught to
attached.
care anymore. I think
Yes.
social media has distanced us from
Caring
caring.
is boring. Because when you care, you seem to be weak.
Yeah.
When you express, when you allow your emotions to just come through,
to be
you're
vulnerable,
weak.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What a society
Because-
we live in.
But it's true that the touch and go nature of social media is I'll care about an issue for as long as it's trending, and I'll care about the next one that's trending.
Correct.
And then care just becomes
Yeah.
whatever I'm posting about for the next 24 hours,
Yeah.
and then the story goes.
But I think, which brings me to the next point, right? Like you wanna feel stuff. Like at the start of this whole conversation, like you said, when you actually mean it, when you're intentional about it, if it comes from a genuine place, right? You can see it on, and it will sustain you.
Yes.
Look, like what you've done, right? I think it's very obvious, not just to us sitting at this table, but even to the audience that influencers have when they try to be sympathetic towards a cause. You know, when they want to say, "Oh, save the pandas,"
Sustainable living.
Yeah, sustainable.
Don't use plastic.
then the next
Don't
day-
use this.
sustainable
then,
delivery.
then that same night they're at like a hotel suite with plastic everywhere because they're partying it up.
I can't.
Like
You're gonna trigger my conversation.
Like,
I'm trying my best not to say anything.
y'all think people
I
stupid, you know. And I think it's in the same vein that you don't have to. Nobody's asking you to like post stuff about everything. It's great if you talk about it, but like there needs to be a follow through. If not, it's empty
Real
words.
steps, lah. Real steps. You know,
real
real
steps. steps. Like the simple things, right? You see someone, you see your gut, and he's been there like the whole freaking day. If you
And then he
want to get him
tapao
food,
tapping.
yeah.
How dare you use plastic in front of me?
Yeah.
Where's your recyclable cup?
If you're
No, I'm kidding, I'm
if
kidding.
you're taking a story at a cafe and telling people, "Oh, I'm so angry that people are getting hurt on the streets," and then your waiter gives you the wrong order and you blast him,
Oh, your entitlement
man,
showing.
what's the difference?
Yeah.
Actually,
What's
that's
the
true.
difference?
I'm sorry. I'm going to just leak a bit. I cannot understand people, especially in our social strata, who so generously donates to the people who are begging, to charities, but swindles and cheats their own partners at work. I cannot brain this. And it's a very real thing because I've seen it happen and I cannot brain it. Like maybe the charity is their redemption.
Hold on, I'm trying to just scan through.
Hey, not today. But basically, no, you're right. They can't be, they can't be this imbalance here. We need to wrap it up because Jeremy is scolding me at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did
What
not-
can people do to support social activism? I feel like we just talked about this.
Yeah.
But maybe they want to take a back seat and they're like dabbling. I'm not sure whether I want to get committed.
Yeah.
What can people do? I mean, just running Sofu, for example. What can people do to show support? Not to help, like touch and go.
Yeah.
But what's the best way?
No photo op here,
start?
b****s.
Take
Yeah. Sorry. Got photo op sometimes.
Oh my gosh. What's a great way to start showing
Yeah.
support at least?
I think just generally the way to show support is just do the earth a favor. Like remove all these labels. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I am this age, I'm that age, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer. Remove everything and just see yourself as a human being. Because when you start putting labels, you will start assuming certain responsibilities only. But when you see yourself as a human being, you will start realizing that everything that I come in touch with in life is a responsibility.
Right.
So please just remove all these labels that we've grown up with and just be as simplistic as possible. We're all human beings and our responsibility is to love and to
100%.
spread light.
Everything that you're saying, I love everything about what you're saying about social activist label. Because so many times, so many different podcasts, in so many different forums and debates we've been to, people have this expectation to join something instead of being. I love everything you said because really, guys, when there is no empathy, there is no proper action. If you don't feel the need to help, the help is going to be temporary until the next calamity, right? The best changes I've seen is when you talk to the volunteer and they're so into it. They explain it better than brochure. They feel it better than the guy who's telling them to go volunteer here. I think that's really it. To be social activist is to be human.
Yeah. We're all useless until we realize we're actually useful.
Oh, I like that one. Wow.
So you'll think you need to have a certain something or someone to do something until you realize that you can do everything as long as you want to do it.
Damn.
You can manifest it as long as you have the intention and willpower here.
Just do it. It's effing Nike.
You are useless as long as you keep on giving excuses for yourself. Just do it. Just go and
do it.
I'll do one. You're useless if you just post about it and don't do anything.
I'll do one more. You're useless. So guys, today we're just talking about
shit. I don't know if that was the final message.
Some people want rotan first. Then I'm sorry, I'll do it. Go do it. Guys, it can be as simple as just tipping a bit more, your Grab
Change
rider.
happens in the circle you're in.
Just saying hello.
That's it, guys. It doesn't need to be effing out there. It's just where you're at. The waiter, your friends.
Hey, some of the nicest things you can do at McDonald's is just pay $10 for the guy behind you. Seriously.
Oh, is it?
Really? It changed people's life one. Can you imagine someone is going through the worst day of their life?
Yeah.
And then they run away to McDonald's for lunch break and say, sorry, the guy in front paid for your meal already.
I
think he'd still...
I'll cry.
It's like, why? Move your car, please. It is really
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that this weekend.
Okay, tell me when. I'll go behind you.
Here's the photo of
Intentions. Okay, guys,
I really hope you guys took away something from this podcast. I think there's so much to pick apart from the conversation with Arwind. I love the fact that you brought up the fact of intentionality drives what you're doing. It should govern everything you're doing. And if you want to make a change, you don't have to look far. Just look next to you. There's so much things that you can do to change. This week's song recommendation is from a lovely singer from Singapore. Lei's got a brand new one. This one is called Lonely, and it sounds like this. It's heart-wrenching. Wow.
Oh,
Lei. Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh my god.
If you guys feel like you're lonely, remember that you're not. Okay, there are people around you who love you. But honestly, this song is amazing. Lei is nuts.
Of all the song recommendations for this
It's
episode,
powerful. It's good. It's good. We need to remind ourselves that we're not alone in this, guys.
I think it matches the whole theme
vibe.
also. Yeah.
ask someone, are you lonely?
Ask someone. And mean it when you ask. Don't just
Maybe
say the makan ke belum.
don't say how are you. Say, are you sad today?
Are you
sad?
lonely?
Oi, people like negative things, right, these days?
Hey, that's good.
Because you ask people, are you happy or not today?
I'll do that to the McDonald's guy behind us.
Someone beat you, that
one is a bit.
Sorry, you never know.
Ask it if you can handle it.
I'm like 100 or nothing, guys. That's literally.
If you guys want to get caught up with all the other podcasts we've got, check us out on YouTube, Spotify. We're also on Apple Podcasts, and a brand new season of Table Talk is coming to you soon. I'm not gonna say when, but
you don't have to say.
But we're kicking it up again because we've got some new
moving
looks,
to
new
do.
visuals. We've got some new formats that we're experimenting with, so we're pretty excited because this is episode 150, right? It's the halfway mark.
We're taking a break for 2 years. That's right, guys. 2 years. Donkey years.
Okay, thank you very much.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, Arwind, for being with us here
Thank
today.
you for having me.
Do you want to give us some plugins? Where do we find out more about you? How do we follow Machi Rosma and Soul Fuel? Where do we go?
Only reach out if you want to properly support. You want to help for one day, shut up and don't know anything.
Where should we go?
Go for it.
All my social media handle is at A for Arwind. But a lot of people will think it's Afro Arwind because of the Afro. It's A for Arwind.
Yeah, dyslexic.
Yes, please follow me. Thank you very much. Subscribe.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
Listening.
Thanks
for listening, everyone. I say watching because I assume they're on YouTube. Are you on YouTube?
You should be.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Are you lonely?
Oh, you listening and watching, he don't know already, so I scared already.
I'm dyslexia.
Okay.